Nerd Rage Renegades.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Renegade Reviews for books coming out this week on 4/18, April 18, 2018. These are the books from DC that are going to be coming out this week. Big week for DC. I do want to start off, though, talking a little bit. Chief had a couple weeks ago, or this past episode, the Renegades, we talked about it. Sonic from IDW has recently come out.
Yeah.
2 issues so far. They're doing this whole month of April every week. It's weekly. There's 4 issues in the month of April. And I picked up the first issue, the con exclusive, at where else? C2E2.
And it was the one that came out. You got it early, right? So it was the one that came out the next Wednesday.
It came out that Wednesday. And so it came out 2 days before the con, but of course I was coming to you, so I wasn't able to pick it up yet. So I picked up the con.
Okay. The tick number 3, I think, is the one I bought that actually was there. It was at the con early. It was early, and then it came out the Wednesday.
So here's what I like about it. First off, the first issue, they had Tracy Yardley doing the art on issue 1.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's fitting that you have.
I saw he's being a little more active on Twitter lately too.
Yeah,
so.
But I think that is very fitting that you have probably the most prominent Sonic artist do the number 1 issue for the new series. Ian Flynn is still writing it. He comes from the Archie series, so he's kind of fresh, rejuvenated. And you have Tracy Yardley. It's a different artist for the first 4 books. So the first 4 books, it's a different artist each book. But it all looks Sonic-y. So it's action. It's Sonic fighting bad guys. For the first 2 issues, he's fighting bad guys. Other characters will show up like Tails or Amy Rose. But it's Sonic being Sonic. Fast, bashing bad guys, and then moving on to bash more bad guys. So it does feel like the books that Archie was putting out towards the end. Now,
I was gonna say, is it as good as what?
Yeah, it's just as good. Now, I still think the stories that were being told in earlier issues, like in the 100s, when they had a lot of character development, a lot of they had deaths. Are still some of the greatest Sonic stories out there. Now, I understand how they market the books, but I'm hoping we get some really good storylines, some really in-depth storylines. IDW, so far, you're doing good on my end. I'm enjoying it. Thank you so much.
Well, IDW's had some pretty good stuff. I mean, their Star Trek stuff was pretty good, and I think they were doing Godzilla books there for a while. That were pretty good.
And of course, they have the Turtles, which has been
the Turtles. The Turtles are definitely more like the actiony, like cool Turtles that I dig more. Like not the cartoony, teaching life lessons and playing in a band. Turtles.
Right. So let's move on to DC Comics because some pretty good issues. We're gonna let's save the biggie for the end.
All right, that's the main one I was planning on focusing on anyway because it's Superman and I spoiled it.
well, let's talk.
You know what it is. I'll know what it is anyway. But
let's talk the 2 biggies this week. First of all, let's talk Batman.
Yeah.
Did you read Batman?
Yes, I did.
So this is kind of an interlude before the big wedding, which is kind of interesting that we're going to have a wedding in D.C., Bruce Wayne and Catwoman, But we're also getting a wedding in Marvel coming soon too of Colossus and Kitty Pryde. If you read X-Men Gold, you know this.
No, I did. I actually did hear that.
Yeah.
I haven't been reading that book.
I gotta show you.
I know that.
But,
I know that from other things.
I gotta show you this cover to a recent issue of X-Men Gold. It's by a guy. It's like he signs it DNA. He signs the art DNA. It's like his last name is like Nakayama or something like that. Oh my God, this cover is amazing. I'll have to shoot that to you here in a little bit.
I think Marvel's gonna get real fucking good here real soon. That's what I think. I've got a prediction that we're getting ready to get some good shit.
Oh, one of the current issues of Avengers, No Surrender.
Yeah, I've got all of those. I haven't read a couple of weeks worth. I'm behind.
I missed somehow. I didn't pick up. I have 480. I missed 487, but I picked up 488. So I got to go back and get 487. But it's the one with Rogue. I think it's Rogue and Hulk on the cover, and the Hulk's like reaching out for like the pyramid thing.
Yeah.
Dude, that issue is fucking insane with Hulk. Like fucking Hulk mania, dude. The things he does in that issue.
I'm gonna catch it. I started reading that, and then I didn't have it on my list. I just lucked into grabbing it when I was at the store, and I grabbed the first couple, and then I put it on my list immediately. So I haven't missed one yet. I just gotta catch up on them.
Yeah, it's good. So Batman, this is an interlude before the wedding, and it's funny because it's Booster Gold, who just had that whole ordeal with Superman.
Yeah, holy shit, what a way to open a book, by the way.
Yeah.
That was the most insane opening of a Hal Jordan, Jokerized Hal Jordan blowing his brains out.
My God.
Above Gotham. And using just that, oh man, that was just a creepy, he's talking about the will. He's like, the ring's not supposed to be able to hurt you, but if you use enough will, it's like, bam. I believe there's a panel of his brains coming out.
I'm looking
if I remember right, there's a panel where he's falling out of the sky and his brains are blowing out the side of his head.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So this is issue number 45 of Batman,
45.
The Gift, Part 1. Tom King writing it, Tony S. Daniel with the art, John Livesey inking assist.
Goddamn Tom King. He's making it real, dude.
Yeah, I mean, John, just goddamn Tom King. I mean, you got that opening page of the green of Hal Jordan blowing his brains out, and then it's just a face shot of Booster Gold with blood on his face, blood on his visor. And in his visor, you can see the brains coming, like shooting out of the side of Hal Jordan.
It's fucking grim, dude.
It's fucking grim. So basically, Booster Gold has, from his jaunt with Superman through time, he's now gone back in time to give Bruce Wayne the perfect wedding present for his wedding to Catwoman. And what is the best wedding present you could give to Bruce Wayne if you are a time traveler?
Screw up his whole world and Jokerize everything.
You go back in time and you save his parents from being killed, which means his parents were never killed, which means he never had the reasoning to become Batman in the first place. So all he is billionaire fucking playboy Bruce Wayne. No ethics, no code, absolutely nothing.
And pretty much a dick.
A dick. There is still a Batman in this Gotham, though.
Yeah, it's a hardcore Batman. Why are all the Batmans, if it's not Bruce Wayne, why are they all murderous dudes with guns? It's like
I don't know.
Thomas Wayne, this Batman.
Did Tim Drake, when the future Tim Drake?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Every Batman that's not Bruce Wayne uses a gun and just flat out kills motherfuckers.
Even
and Red Hood too.
Even future Damien when he took those times you saw future Damian, when he would take over the Batmantle, he was a brutal fucking Batman.
Nobody but Bruce Wayne should ever be Batman, ever.
No. This one, in this universe, this alternate timeline, it's Dick Grayson. And he's like strapped to the 9, like rifle, pistol.
It's cool, man. The artwork in this issue is badass, by the way. I gotta say that picture of Dick Grayson as Batman is fucking awesome. That's like splash page of him.
Oh yeah, the one where he's like on the side of the building.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So let me just put it this way: he's got a shotgun on his back. He's got a pistol on his belt, up here on his chest belt. He's got grenades all over his body. Then he has
like Deadpool Batman.
he's got an M4 with a 203 grenade launcher on it, and he just is out to kill.
Well, he wants to kill. The reason he wants to kill Booster Gold is because he doesn't want to risk like how Jordan did. How Jordan got Jokerized and went up into the atmosphere and blew his own head off. So, I mean, he said, you're a hero and you're in my city, and I can't risk you being Jokerized, so I gotta kill you.
Yeah, because apparently there is a whole group of Jokers in the city. Because there's even a couple there's a page of Jason Todd.
Yeah, Jason Todd's tires.
As a tire salesman, and he sells tires that will, if you try to take them off the vehicle, they electrocute you.
It'll kill you, and that's part of the selling point. It'll kill them. It's funny as hell.
Which, that in of itself is hilarious, because if anybody knows Jason Todd...
he got busted trying to swipe tires.
From the Batmobile. He tried to steal the tires off the Batmobile. But Booster Gold, I understand he's trying to do good, but he just needs to stop. He helped out Superman quite a bit. That's the thing. That's why I really love this. And that's a shame that we didn't get to talk to Tom King, because we got to talk to Pat Gleason about Superman. And it would be cool to have had Tom King's perspective from Batman, because those two characters have been intertwined since Rebirth. Like, really, they're really creating the friendship bond between Batman and Superman that had kind of been lost in New 52, and before. I mean, since Batman's been this dark, kind of edgy character forever. Like the friendship that people have consistently known between Batman and Superman kind of wasn't really a factor, and it's been more of a factor than Rebirth. I think they've been bringing Bruce and like the double date thing, and they've been bringing Bruce and Clark together a lot, and their sons are like friends and are partners and on the super team. So I wish we could have talked to Tom King a little bit about Batman and Superman together too. But the thing with Booster Gold, it's kind of weird, because he actually, he kind of screwed up things for Superman too. But then it kind of worked out in the end. But with Batman, that's like I said, what a in your face way to fucking slam Booster Gold into a story. Here's the other thing I really liked about this issue is it kind of did show how the other, not all of them, but quite a few members of the Bat family were affected in this alternate timeline. So you got Grayson as the new Batman.
Yeah.
Jason Todd is selling tires. Duke, the Signal, is lobotomized.
Yeah, that was weird, and Damian doesn't exist, because there was never a Bruce Wayne Talia al Ghul hookup anywhere.
And they actually reference that with a whole page of Talia and Raish fighting, and Talia says,
"Yeah, there'll be no heir. I'm going to be the last of your line," or whatever.
Yeah, she says, "There's no man worthy of me." So that's real interesting that they kind of show, what's happened. The only one they don't show really what happens to in this timeline is Tim Drake.
That's true, but there's weird stuff going on with Tim Drake. So maybe going to factor in at some point in this story because the future Tim Drake and all that.
So
It's trying to avoid that. Currently, Tim Drake's dreams of the Knights program and the Belfry and all that shit just got crushed. Batman shut the whole system down and said he doesn't want him to do it. So now there's this fucking anger with Tim Drake.
yeah. So a really good issue of Batman to kind of break everything up. Before the big wedding, you've got this story with Booster Gold, which I like I said, I still think it's interesting that Booster Gold first he has a romp with Superman. Now he's having things with Batman.
Like I said, it's this cool thing where the Superman and Batman are just kind of connected. It seems throughout Rebirth through different characters and their own books crossing over. Detective in Action crossing over with the Mr. Oz thing.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, will we be seeing Booster Gold showing up in Wonder Woman maybe next? Do the trilogy? He's done Superman, Batman. The next logical step would be to go to Wonder Woman.
A time traveler. Doomsday Clock has a lot to do with time travel and the loss of 10 years of time that they're still trying to figure out, and they still don't know why the Green Lantern's original recording of the destruction of Krypton was tampered with. And there's all kinds of things Booster Gold could figure into throughout the DC universe right now.
It's good to see him getting some more action in the universe because he didn't have it for so long.
Yeah, I kind of like the way they're writing him too, because he's just shit on by everybody, and he knows it, and he just carries on as the protector of time.
Yet he does more harm to the time than it, which I kind of like. So a solid issue. Tom King still solid on Batman.
Yeah, man, it just seems to get better all the time, and it's like. Snyder had a solid run, I thought. I really liked Snyder's Batman, everything he did. But, man, Tom King is right there with him, right there at the top. Keeping it, he hasn't let it fall. He was handed the ball, and he's still carrying it.
So the bulk of this review show for the first show is actually going to be on the biggie this week. That's Action 1000. Yeah.
Actually, I did read Superman too, but I could save that as you go unless you just want me to review it real quick.
Go ahead and review Superman real quick.
It's basically one of the, since we talked to Pat Gleason, it'd be a good time to review Superman this week.
Okay.
But it's Superman 45 too, I believe, and it's basically it's one of those issues that's like it's kind of like when they went on vacation. The Superman book. It really deals a lot with the Kent family, and it really deals a lot with the father-son thing with Clark and his son trying to teach his son thing, what right from wrong and how to be the next Superman, basically. And so this issue was basically they're moving from Hamilton into Metropolis full time, so they're leaving the farm, and so basically they're kind of cleaning it up and getting their stuff out of it, and then the Flash stops by. Apparently Clark had gotten the day off from like Justice League safety drills or something, and Barry Allen shows up and actually helps them move their furniture, like the 600-mile round trip to move their furniture. They're just Lois is just handing him stuff, and he's like back in like a tenth of a second. He's like, okay, where? And she's like, kitchen, and she hands him a big box, and he runs and he's back like a tenth of a second later. Like, where next? And she gives him another box. But it's just kind of them and them reminiscing about their life there, and they get all emotional about it, how they're moving, leaving their farm and stuff. And then they plant a thing that Clark says that Swamp Thing gave. They mentioned Swamp Thing in this issue. He's got a cutting of a plant that Swamp Thing gave him. And they plant it there on their property, and they plan to have the alien girl Kathy watch it. But it's pretty good. But it's like it's one of the things I kind of like about Superman is that like action has a lot of action in it, of course, and a lot of what people love about Superman action stories. But Superman, the actual Superman book, has a lot. It has a lot of action stories too, but it sometimes it goes a lot into the family and stuff. Sometimes there's just issues where they don't even really fight anybody. So I mean, this is kind of one of those, but it was pretty good. I liked it overall.
Pat Gleason and Peter Tomasi writing it. The words, art, and cover art were done by Pat Gleason. You also, in this issue, you get a cameo of the Bizarro Boys.
Yeah, they go to the county fair there. They're kind of wrapping up their life in Hamilton, where they were been hiding out. We still don't know. We really still. I don't think we really know where the Superman family comes from. But I mean, the timeline is fucked, like I said. So they were just there, I guess, during the rebirth. And but they're moving from their where they were hiding out or whatever in Hamilton, and they're gonna finally move into Metropolis and be kind of the Kents again. So it's a pretty good issue, kind of wrapping up their life there and moving into Bendis's take on Superman coming up, I guess. But pretty good issue. Now on to Action 1000.
Action 1000, the big thing this week. This is a monumental thing. I mean, 1000 issues of Action Comics.
Yeah. Like I said, just bought issue 254 this last week. So the span of time since 254 to now to 1000.
Couple things with this. First of all, it's 80 pages. This is an 80-page book.
Yeah, it's a monster.
It's a monster book. 1000 issues, and the red underwear is back.
Yeah, and there's no explanation for that either, really, in any of the stories.
No,
they say,
but it's
the two girls that help him in the shop are like, he's wearing the red trunks again. Like, you'd think he'd know better by now. How long's he been here? So they're like talking about, like, you know, why? And it's weird because that's the weird thing about this time thing. It's like people seem to remember Superman with the red shorts, but they don't remember Superman before New 52 Superman. Right. So it's weird. There's like weird shit going on with the timeline.
Now, what I like about this, and I don't know if it's, I think this is because I think these are the variant covers. Now we get to see the preview, so we get to see if there's like variant covers and stuff. But there are multiple variant covers.
Yeah, I like the Jim Lee one. I think best. That was my favorite of all the ones.
The first one, him just standing there, or which one are you talking about?
That's the one. Yeah.
I like a few of them. I like the old school Action Comics logo and him and the tanks firing at him. I like the fact that it kind of goes through the different. It kind of shows like the different.
There's a few takes of old school Superman in there.
I mean, you have the old DC Comics where it has like the black and white checkerboard on it. Which actually they have a reference on that one of when of when Superman had that little tryst with the mermaid.
Oh.
You remember that? You remember his
Lamaris or Lamaris?
But they go through, it's basically they go through every incarnation of the covers of DC Comics and what they look like.
Yeah, who were the artists on some? I'm getting into mine now, but I forgot. So there were a lot of different artists that did different covers for it.
Yeah, there was a crap ton. Let me go back here and see if maybe it's in the back. I'm not seeing it. There's just so many of them. The last page of this is a big thing from Brian Michael Bendis. But we have a lot to go over in this issue. A lot of stories.
Yeah, well, you know, it seemed to me like all the stories leading up to Bendis's, because the Bendis story is the last one, and all the stories leading up to that were kind of these. I don't know if they were if Bendis's story was just that good, or if like they were kind of putting some tamer stories to lead up to Bendis's. That's what I was thinking. But the Bendis story is really good.
Well, the first story was written and drawn by Dan Jurgens from the city that has everything. Um, I enjoyed this one because it kind of showed Clark a little bit paranoid because Metropolis is doing like this big thank you to Superman, and
Yeah.
he's fighting these aliens, and then he comes to the event as Clark. He hates the event. He doesn't like doing them. And he keeps thinking he's...
Well, you got to think he's a humble Kansas guy. He doesn't like to be praised.
He's a humble farm boy. But he keeps thinking he sees these aliens like out in space coming to attack, or he hears something. And the whole time, Lois is on her phone, like, talking to Perry. He thinks she's talking to Perry White because she keeps saying, Perry, no, Perry, he's not doing it.
Yeah.
No, you cannot talk to Clark, Perry. So all these different people get up to talk. Maggie Sawyer gets up. They all talk about Superman. And then Perry White gets up there, and Clark just looks at Lois and is like, you weren't talking to Perry, were you? And you find out she was actually talking to Batman because the aliens did invade the planet, but Martian Manhunter psychically made it so Superman could not.
Yeah, he was obscuring his vision and his. He was obscuring his senses so that he couldn't tell what was going on, so that he would stay put.
Yeah, which the Justice League took over and took care of the race, and I really like the shot of all the heroes there with Superman. There's that one shot where he's kind of there, and on the stage are all the other superheroes.
Well, I like that they show that he's more that he's the compassionate. He's like the Superman, but he's also like the greatest regular dude. Like he really helps people out, and he doesn't just save them. He continues to try to help them after like the guy that was like a career criminal that he helped out.
Yeah. What's really interesting in the picture with all the heroes is Harley Quinn and Deathstroke are there. They're in the back behind Martian Manhunter, but Harley Quinn and Deathstroke are there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hawkman, Booster Gold, you got Nightwing, everybody, Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Bunch of green, got 4 Green Lanterns showed up for him.
Yeah, just
5. You got Guy Gardner's down there too, I see.
Where is he? I'm looking for... Oh, he is there.
Yeah, he's right under Wonder Woman's boot.
Yeah. You got 3 of the Flashes. You got Barry. You got and then both of the Wally Wests are there.
Well, I mean, this particular story more or less has the Justice League admitting that really there's several times that they would have already been destroyed. If they didn't have a Kryptonian, they would be fucked.
Yeah.
She basically says we're fans too. we're in awe of Superman as well.
Now
you got Martian Manhunter there, and Barry Allen, who I still say is comparably powerful to Superman. I think Barry Allen could be every bit as strong and do almost everything Superman can do.
The next story that I really enjoyed is the second story, written by Tomasi and drawn by Gleason, and this one I had to make sure to read after the interview.
This art, man, Gleason's art is fucking unbelievable. That's another cool thing to have talked to Pat Gleason is, man, the guy, the art on Superman just hasn't been better in so long.
Basically, this one, Superman gets captured by Vandal Savage and gets thrown in a time loop where basically Superman's in a time loop, but he will never meet Vandal Savage. They'll never meet.
It's brilliant. It's also brilliant in the fact that it gives reason to why Superman has been in all these different eras for all this time.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant way to explain that. It explains why he has been in the 20s and 30s. He's been in like all these different eras of time.
And that's what I like about it, is going through, it is all the different eras of Superman. Like, you see him in the 30s, and he's got, like, the shield, like an actual, looks like a police badge on his chest, and his boots are the red, like, boots, but they're like, the
Gladiator
gladiator style
boots.
boots.
Yeah, and he couldn't fly. They make mention. He's like, I was in this time and I couldn't fly. I was faster than a speeding bullet, and like the old school like
Yeah.
radio show Superman.
I like it because he basically says, he said, like, he had no heat vision, no X-ray vision, no flying, and he actually says that he hates to admit it, but there was something exhilarating about my sudden lack of powers. Like, he liked it that he didn't have all of these powers.
Well, yeah. Well, in Superman's history, we've heard him complain. Well, even in the cartoons, he complained that he has to. He's like he lives. He lives in a world of cardboard.
Yeah.
And he can't. He has to be careful of literally everything he does, or he could destroy the planet at any given time. And so that frustrates him, obviously, from time to time to be that powerful.
The next one was good too because I was hoping that they would to go through all of them, but they didn't. So the 30s, he's like, I'm faster than a speeding bullet. The next one, he's more powerful than a locomotive.
Yeah, and he looks like in this one he looks like the old the Fleischer cartoon version or whatever,
Yeah.
like the animated Superman from way back.
Yeah.
He's drawn in that style with that kind of S.
Next he's fighting. He's with that Sergeant Rock right there.
Yeah. Sergeant Rock.
He's with
Makes an
Sergeant Rock
appearance.
fighting the Nazis in World War II. Then he's captured. Basically, it's.
Yeah, you get the weird. This is like a weird cosmic Superman story. Like you get
Like weird outer space Gulliver's Travels.
yeah, like that's a kind of man. That's totally Superman. That's totally Superman thing. There's so many Superman versions. I mean, there's so many different eras and different ways of doing Superman.
And and Gleason and Tomasi they take you through pretty much all of them. I mean, they even there's one. It looks like the one where he's fighting himself. It looks like he's fighting the animated series Superman and like another Superman. Maybe the movie Superman. I don't know, but he's fighting himself.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's fighting like an animated version of himself, like different.
And they even they reference when he came back and back to life after he got killed after his death at the hands of Doomsday.
Yeah, that's really well. They also do when he in Dark Knight Returns when he gets caught in the nuclear blast.
Yeah,
that's when he's withered away, and that's when he uses the photosynthesis from the flower and recharges himself.
And they reference Kingdom Come with the old Superman with the white stripes in his hair.
Yeah.
Fighting the Steppenwolf, isn't it?
The black suit, he's fighting, and this one he's fighting Mongol in the black suit with the mullet.
Yeah. With Steel and Superboy in the background.
Yeah. The old tactile telekinesis Superboy.
And it all leads to him and the other Supermen coming out, taking down Vandal Savage, so he could get home and have because it's his birthday. And I like that Crypto's there. Bendis, do not kill Crypto. Please, do not kill Crypto.
Nah, you can't kill Crypto. I don't think that he's going to. He might just not write him into any stories, but I don't think that he'd be given I don't think they'd give Bendis the green light to kill Crypto.
then you'd have to kill Ace the Bat Hound.
Oh, you can't do that. Well, it's Titus now.
Yeah.
Ace is long gone, I'm guessing.
What other stories you want to talk about in this one?
Let's see. I'm seeing what we got left here. Oh, we got the hostage one here, and then with Brainiacs controlling people across the world.
Yeah.
And Superman has to stop a hostage situation. My shit's loading really slow. That's why.
Yeah, that one, script by Marv Wolfman, art by Kurt Swan.
But the Bendis one is the one was my favorite, so we could.
Well, I do want to talk about a couple of. There's one in here. It's called The Car. This one was written by Jeff Johns and Richard Donner.
Yeah, that's something that caught my eye when I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Richard Donner, really?
Art by Olivier Coipel. This one is it's old school Superman, and this is like back in like the 30s Superman, where it's just I love the art on this. It's so good, but it's the old Gladiator boot Superman again, and it's basically another story of him talking to someone who's gone down the wrong path, and helps them realize you're not a bad person. You can do good.
Yeah, that one. Mine's having trouble loading up, so I can't get to it. But yeah, that one is really good. I really like that one. And it's really short. It's a really short, like to the point one. Like it's not like a real long story. But the artwork is fantastic on it.
The next one the Scott Snyder's one was also really good. That's the one where Luthor and Superman meet at the planetarium.
Okay, I was thinking the one that he meets Luthor to play chess, and Luthor tries to trap him, and he got a what was it? He got a Mr. Miracle gave him a radiation nullifier.
Yeah.
So and then the one you're talking about is called the Cars. That's the one with the crook.
Yep, and then there's Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque did the 5th season, where Luthor talks about him and his science partner in school created a laser, and he took it to the planetarium with the big giant telescope, and he shot a message into space telling Clark, yeah, it probably could reach. It's probably right now. It's probably about to reach Krypton, but there's no more Krypton there. And it's kind of It's kind of like told like they're there, but then you see kind of like the past Luthor, like child Luthor.
Yeah.
And then you see that he talks about how like the laser overheated or something. And then you actually see that it was a young Clark using his heat vision on the laser.
Yeah, well, he said he forgot to warm up the liquid nitrogen or something, and Clark had done it.
Yeah.
So that he didn't explode, because if he would have done it the way he was going to do it, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
And so Clark snuck in and heated the stuff.
So that was really good. Let's talk about the main event, because there's just
I'll tell you the one by Tom. Yeah, well, they got the Tom King one where it's the end of that one's actually really cool. It's a really short one too, but it's the one where Superman's at the end of the Earth, like the sun's about to engulf the Earth and destroy it, and mankind has long since vacated the Earth and migrated somewhere else in the galaxy, but Superman goes back and stands on the Earth in the last final minutes of the Earth, which is pretty cool. And he goes to like his parents' grave that's still there, which is kind of neat. It shows that Superman somehow is eternal. He's never going to die. Apparently, he's going to be around for 1 billion years.
Yeah. So let's talk the Bendis story.
Yeah.
Because you do have stories in here with Paul Dini, with like Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I always like those. You get a little bit of every kind of Superman in this, which is what's really cool. You get kind of that, like what I was talking about earlier, where it's just the family kind of thing at the beginning with the story with the honoring Superman, where they're trying to keep him there, and you get a little bit of that where there's not really so much action in it, but it's just like a kind of about Clark and kind of his personality, and then you get like the weird cosmic shit too, and the weird like I always call him Mr. Mxyzptlk because that's what they called him on the Super Friends. But you get that weird story of fifth dimension stuff. So I mean, you get a little bit of every kind of Superman in this.
Yeah, I like that one because you do get to see Gisby, his girl. Because I mean, you think Mxyzptlk, whatever you want to call him, he's like this short little guy, but Gisby is like this tall, curvy redhead, like, and then you do get an appearance by Batmite in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's really good. It reminds me of like a modern day like Superman family book or something with all the different stories and different types of stories.
So the Bendis story called The Truth, and it's Bendis writing, Jim Lee with the pencils, with the art. And
Yeah, art's amazing on this.
And this isn't a one contained story. This is actually the setup for the Man of Steel book that Bendis is going to be writing.
Yeah.
And it actually starts off with Superman getting his lights knocked out.
Yeah, this is also the one where they say he's wearing the red shorts again, which I think is an odd thing to say, because to them in this current DC continuity, they shouldn't have even known about the red shorts. That their memories would only remember the young New 52 Superman, if I'm thinking right. So how do they know that he even had the red shorts? I don't know. I'm confused on that. But pretty cool, man. I like it how it's starting out, and then Supergirl shows up. Starts kicking some ass.
I like that she showed up. I like that. But yeah, a character is introduced that says he destroyed Krypton.
Yeah. Which that's going to be interesting. This part right here that I'm looking at is pretty cool. When I like this series, these 3 panels where Superman's flying towards the bookstore window, like out of control. He's just been slammed with a big fire hammer thing.
Oh yeah.
And he just yells stop, and he stops right before the glass. Just the look on his face, the way they drew it.
And I mean, this is Jim Lee art, and I've always liked Jim Lee art.
Oh, hold on, got some clicking. Here's some clicking.
You know what? We'll roll with it because sometimes I don't hear it on the.
All right. Well, we're almost to the end anyway.
I really like Jim Lee art, and I honestly like the way he drew Supergirl in this issue.
Yeah, I liked it all. I didn't really have any problem with any of the panels. Nothing really stood out to me as not good. It looked cool, and I like when he was doing when he was doing like a Batman Superman series not too long ago, I think, and I like the art on that.
Oh, didn't he do the art on Superman Unchained?
Yes, that's what it was. Superman Unchained. Wasn't Batman. Batman Superman was like Jay Lee, I think.
Yeah. That was good too. I liked that. I like the Jay Lee art on that.
Yeah, I dig his art anyway. I just love his take on all kinds of the Watchmen characters. I thought he did some cool covers. But yeah, Rogol Zar is this guy that claims to have destroyed Krypton.
He says, I cleansed the galaxy of the Kryptonian plague. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all goes down. That's going to be in Man of Steel, which will be a new book coming out from Bendis.
Yeah, how cool to get some badass Jim Lee art again on just a total action battle bunch of panels, man. Just destruction and fighting. A big monster dude.
Now we do get a little teaser for what's coming up next in DC. It says 3 brand new stories that set up DC's biggest events of 2018. You have DC Nation #0 that's coming out.
Yeah.
Batman, Tom King and Clay Mann. Justice League No Justice, which is Snyder, Tinian, Joshua Williamson, and Jorge Jimenez. And then the Man of Steel, Bendis and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to add that to my list. It comes out in May, I believe. The first issue comes out in May. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get all these because I gotta say, man, I haven't read a bad DC book in a while. I mean, DC's been solid with Rebirth, I think, on everything, and Doomsday Clock just keeps getting better. Metal, I think the problem I had with Metal was that it wasn't enough, and I believe that Snyder has said that there's more coming for the Dark Knight's characters, and that Metal's not quite over. So in that case, then Metal is brilliant. Because I just had a problem with that final issue. I thought that was just short. I thought it should have been a double issue. It should have been more in there, but I guess more of that's coming. But man, DC has just been solid book after solid book, like everything.
Definitely, it's been a great thing for DC. I'm loving everything that they're coming out with. I can't wait to see what happens, especially in Batman with that picture of the Joker tearing up an invitation.
Oh yeah. I had a feeling there was going to be something involving the Joker with the wedding, so I'm kind of waiting. I hope it's not like I'm building myself up and it's a letdown though.
Right.
I hope it's not like he like shows up and like actually just brings like a wedding gift. Just leaves. He dances with Catwoman and leaves.
Just one day he doesn't try to kill he doesn't cause any mayhem or destruction.
Although one of the cooler issues of Snyder's Batman, like I think it was during Endgame, is when he met the Joker in the park on the bench. That was one of my favorite things, and they didn't fight. They just had that. He just told Bruce Wayne that story, and then begged him not to become Batman again.
That's true. And we still have never gotten a resolution of. Remember, they find out there are actually 3 Jokers.
Yeah, that's when he sat in the God chair or whatever, and he asked his questions.
Find out that there are 3 Jokers. But you had the Joker in Endgame.
Yeah.
Who claims that it was due to the Dionysium or whatever that his face was healed.
Yeah, and that he was immortal. That for some reason that's why he's been around for. He's the one that told Bruce Wayne that he molded him. He's the reason that his family was shot. He made a Batman to make himself a playmate or something.
Yeah. Then you have, if that was the same Joker that met him on the park bench. But if that was, how did he become the Joker again? There's still a lot of questions.
Well, he had those pills. Wasn't he taking pills or something that helped him? And then if he stopped taking them, he'd like Joker out again or some shit.
I don't know, because remember the Dionysium kind of rebooted Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So could have rebooted him, but there's still a lot of questions. Hopefully we'll get some of those. But as far as a 1,000 issue, this is pick of the week. I mean, it cannot not be pick of the week.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like going through it again. Actually, there was quite a few solid stories in there that were really good. But I really like the art, and I really like the action of the Bendis story. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do with it. I had my worries about Bendis messing with Superman too much because I've liked so much what they've done with Rebirth. But if he goes in that direction, it looks cool so far. I'm with him so far. It looks good. So Man of Steel is definitely going to go on my list next too. I got to call up the shop and get that ordered.
Yeah. All right, so that is 2 of the books that are going to be coming out this week on the 18th. Let me run down your other books you're going to be getting this week. You get Mr. Miracle number 8. You get Batman, Creature of the Night.
Yeah, I got to get that Mr. Miracle, man. I got to get the trade of that because I hear it's just really awesome.
Damage number 4. Deathbed number 3, Chief, is out this week.
Yeah, I dig that book too.
Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Aquaman number 35. Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye. Injustice
Never read that.
2. Nightwing. Green Lanterns. Harley Quinn. Deadman. Batman Sins of the Father. The Brave and the Bold. Ooh, yeah, The Brave and the Bold. Batman and Wonder Woman number 3 is out this week. That is a really good story so far.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably read that before I go to bed tonight.
Another solid. Brave and the Bold hasn't been around for a little bit, so I mean that's kind of a solid throwback book. Well, not a throwback, but kind of a reboot of the Brave and the Bold title.
Yeah. Future Quest presents The Herculoids. Batwoman number 14, Super Sons number 15, Teen Titans Go number 27, Justice League number 43, and Bombshells United number 16.
I don't read Bombshells, and I don't read the like the Herculoids book, whatever that is. But man, a lot of those I like Teen Titans. I dig Super Sons. I dig. Man, a lot of the DC titles I'm loving right now.
Definitely. So make sure you head out to your shops, pick up those books. We'll be back again next Thursday with more reviews coming at you on Renegade Reviews. The project of how will a second show go.
That's true. Never know.
So, with that, go read your books, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Nerd Rage Renegades.